Welcome to the One Star Weak Foot Show, FIFA 21 edition, starring your host, One Star Weak Foot, and our review specialist, One Star Weak Foot. Bow! Good evening, beautiful people of YouTube, and welcome to the One Star Weak Foot Show, your one-stop shop for player reviews. I'm going to be your host today, One Star Weak Foot, and it makes me feel absolutely stupendous to see you back on the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. So, as you guys know, we are in the midst of the Future Stars promo. And if I do say so myself, at least idea-wise, the Future Stars promo is probably one of my favorite promos FIFA focuses on during the year. I mean, there's something to be said about using a young player and then using his future version. And that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to have two of the best French young players in world football, Moussa Dembele and Camavinga. So guys, we will be taking a look at these cards, starting with 87 rated flashback Moussa. Oh wait, no, this is a moments card. Sorry, there's so many cards, it's confusing. Moments card Dembele. And it seems like if your name is Dembele and you're French and you're young, you're a very, very highly rated prospect. And this Dembele card is no stranger to that. I mean, he's pretty much been highly rated since his Celtic days. I believe that's the team he was playing for. Then he went to Lyon. And now Atletico Madrid has secured his signing. And when you look at this card that he's gotten in FIFA, it looks absolutely brilliant. He's 6 foot tall. He has high medium work rates. He's right-footed with a 4-star combination. As you guys see here, his return is quite lovely. I have played regular and co-op divisional rivals and have gotten 6 goals and 0 assists with him. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying the content, if you want more content like this, do me a big solid and hit the like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, as always, don't be shy. Please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all you guys at home for watching this video. So, when you look at this Dembele card, I mean, there's some things to like, there's some things to love, and there's something to be wary about, all right? Let's talk about the things to love. His pace and shooting and physical combination look absolutely brilliant. 90 pace is very good. I would say not quite elite, but very, very good on this game. The shooting looks very, very encouraging with the 92 finishing, the 89 shot power, the 91 attack positioning, and of course, the physical stats are mental. 91 strength, 91 stamina, and once again, 91 jumping with a 95 heading accuracy. The things that look good are his dribbling, all right? But I'm kind of wary here because he's 6 foot. And in my experience using Dembele in the past, he is kind of clunky. Is this card going to really feel like 86 dribbling? We're going to see. His passing stats are not that great. But when you look at the stats that you really need, the short passing, the curve, and the vision, he actually does look like he can he can be used as a target man type striker very effectively. Next, we'll talk about the most expensive Future Star card of this promo so far, Camavinga. And this is a card that's been getting linked to the big clubs of the world, namely Real Madrid. And when you look at the stats, I mean, if this is what they're going to be signing up for, I think he's going to be worth the transfer fee. He's 6'4". Or no. He's 6 foot. I'm sorry. When you look at the stats, he looks like Vieira. So I'm thinking about Vieira type stats. But he's 6 foot. He has high work rates. He's left footed with a 3-star combination. As you guys see here, he has played 5 games. Once again, in co-op and regular rivals. And he has 0 goals and 1 assist. And when you look at his stats, I mean, he looks like he could possibly be one of the best midfielders of the game. I mean, compare him to Team of the Years. Compare him to Team of the Years. See what he looks like compared to them. I mean, honestly, he looks like a Team of the Year card. His pace is very nice. His shooting is good. But there are some really interesting stats with the 95 attack positioning and the 95 shot power there. Passing-wise, he looks like he could be an absolutely brilliant playmaker. Dribbling-wise, he looks very, very nice. And defending and physical-wise, he looks like he's going to contribute very, very well as well. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump into the gameplay. I'm going to take you over to our review specialist in the studios, One Star Weak Foot. Take it away. Thanks, One Star. So, as you guys know, we have yet another double review today, and the first card is going to be Moussa Dembele. His SBC is an 86 rated squad, which is going for about 200k on the PS4 market. Is he worth it? I would have to say I'm kind of mad on it. We're going to talk about it though. Starting with his pace, he has 90 pace. So you might be wondering, does he have enough pace to get in behind? I would say yes, actually. He's very good at getting behind. And when he's in behind with his 93 sprint speed, he actually is pretty hard to catch. That being said, he kind of does feel sluggish at times. His 87 acceleration doesn't really feel quite like that when it comes to coming out of the skill moves. And overall, I have to give his pace an 8.5 out of 10. He is pretty quick, but he's not rapid. Next, we'll talk about his shooting, and this was obviously one of his strongest attributes that he brings to your team, and you really notice his 91 attack positioning. His runs are brilliant. He always seems to be getting in dangerous positions, and there are so many times where he looks like he's offside, but nah. Pass him the ball. That man is offside, and that man's gonna score. With his 92 finishing, both feet were very, very clinical inside the box. And he doesn't really have a finesse shot trade, but his finesse shot's pretty good as well. His long shots, I mean, I didn't really get the test. It's very hard to get long shots off on this game. But overall, I think he's very clinical, and I have to give his shooting a 9.25 out of 10. Next, we'll talk about his passing. And the stats were very discouraging, but in game, he was actually very good. He has 83 vision, 87 short passing, 83 curve. So as far as the passes you need the striker to make, which is pretty much all short passes, he does it at a very high level actually. He reminds me a lot of the past Benzema cards, where he would have very good passing stats, but his long passing would be bad, and you wouldn't really notice it because who long passes with the striker very often? Not this guy. This guy's long passing is pretty bad. Like I said, it's 58. But in game, I did test it, and I didn't really notice it to be a big deal at all. Overall, this guy's passing is an 8 out of 10. He's definitely capable of linking up play very well. And if that's what you want out of your striker, yo, this card might really suit you. Next, we'll talk about his dribbling, and this was the biggest question mark I had, really. How's he going to feel on the ball? And I'll say that there's two things to talk about, and the first is his responsiveness when it comes to turning. He's kind of big in game, all right? He's 6 foot, he's kind of heavy, and he's going to feel like it. But at the same time, he wasn't the clunkiest player for his size. I think he's a smooth tank is the way to put it. His agility and balance are decent at 86 and 83 respectively. And I will say when it comes to turning, he's kind of average. He's not that bad. He's not that good. He's able to turn in smooth gameplay, but in delay, you may have some issues. But I noticed his actual dribbling. His close control is actually class. He has 85 dribbling, 86 ball control, 92 reactions. So there were times when I had a lot of defenders in front of me, I would just take some L1 dribbling, or R1 dribbling, or maybe just a touch here and there, and he'd be able to get enough space to then hit it into the back of the net. I would say his dribbling is decent, nothing more, nothing less, and I have to give his dribbling an 8 out of 10. A little bit better than what I expected, but at the same time, not that meta, if that makes sense. Finally, we'll be talking about his physical, and this was probably the second best thing about this card. He's extremely strong, and that comes down to his 91 strength and 80 aggression. He could shield people all day and just bully people. And what I've noticed is that running into the box with him, he's kind of glitchy. The ball tends to keep on bouncing back to him over and over. Defenders tend to bounce off him. So if you want to create havoc in the box a la Michail Antonio, this Dembele card could do a lot of that. He has 91 stamina, which means he lasts all game. And overall, this guy's physical is a 10 out of 10. I think he's absolutely a tank. Alright guys, so what's the final verdict on this card? I think as far as La Liga strikers go, he's not a bad option. He does a lot of good things with his pace, his shooting, his physical. His passing and dribbling does leave a little bit to be desired, but for the price you're paying and the links you get, I don't think it's a bad value. So 200k, I think it's a do. Next, we'll talk about this Camavinga card. He's selling for 2.2 million on the PS4 market. Is he worth it? And I would have to say absolutely. This is probably one of the best midfielders I've used on this game. At the beginning of this review, I must say, he definitely is up there with the team of the years. We're going to talk about it, starting with his pace. He has 86 pace. And honestly, somehow he felt quicker than this in game. I think some of it's just to do with the fact that I did have an engine camp style on him. But the way he tracked up and down the pitch, it was crazy. He covered so much ground with his pace, and his acceleration coming out of skill moves was very decent as well. Overall, this guy's pace is a 9 out of 10. Next, we'll talk about shooting, and the most apparent thing here was his attack positioning. He positioned himself so good, and it's something that if you pay attention and spot him out, he'll score a lot of goals for you. His finishing on his right foot's decent. His left foot's not that great, but at the same time, he's a defensive-minded center mid, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him about it. His long shots, if you catch them correct, are decent as well. Overall, this guy's shooting is a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely enough to keep the opposition honest, but you don't want to play him at cam either. Speaking of Cam, we're going to talk about his passing, and by George, this guy reminds me of Team of the Year Kimmich. I mean, his playmaking ability is unrivaled. He could ping over the top through balls, defense playing through balls. He passes sometimes that I don't even see,
but they're better than the passes I intended to do, so I'm not even mad at it. Overall, this guy's passing is a 10 out of 10. I mean, there's not much to say here. This guy's an absolute gem of a playmaker. We're going to move on to his dribbling. It's 90, and does he feel 90 dribbling in game? I would have to say yes, actually. If you enjoy using players like Clarence Seedorf, his 88 version, maybe his prime version, this Camavinga card feels like a better version of Seedorf on the ball. And that's saying a lot, because Seedorf is a very good dribbler. And it starts with his responsiveness on the ball. He feels very, very responsive. He turns very well. And I notice when he takes the ball, he keeps possession of the ball very, very well. He's very responsive. He's very fluid in his movements. And his L1 and R1 dribbling are very, very nice as well. Overall, if you want a ball retention or a ball, somebody who's comfortable on the ball in the midfield, this guy's going to do very well for you. And I have to give his dribbling a 9 out of 10. Finally, what we're going to talk about here, his defending and physical. And honestly, he's a beast, all right? I know the stats are 87 and 87. Those are very high stats. But it seems like he outplays the stats. I think it comes down to his high work rates, where he really just covers a lot of ground. And every time he's in position, he wins the challenge. He has 90 stand tackle. His stand tackle was not only clean, it was aggressive. And it's probably due to his 87 strength and 85 aggression. His defensive AI pretty much had him everywhere on the pitch, breaking a play very effectively. And his stamina means he lasts all game. Overall, this guy's defending and physical is a 9 out of 10. Alright guys, so what's the final verdict on this card? I think this guy is very similar to Team of the Year Kimmich. He's very similar to Trent in the midfield. I mean, he's very, very well rounded. He's somebody that could defend, but you don't just want him defending. You want him pushing up. You want him contributing to build a play. You want him in the box, making his dangerous runs. And if you need a CDM that could also contribute going forward, or if you want a box-to-box CM, this guy's one of the best you can get. Overall, I have to give him a 9.75 out of 10. I love this card. Alright guys, so that's going to be my double review for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next episode, but until then,